The night sky over Earth had never looked darker. From the broken spire of a once proud skyscraper, the ninja watched the shimmering descent of an alien craft. He didn't flinch, not even when the winds kicked up dust and debris, carrying with them the faint sounds of destruction from the war-torn streets below. His breathing was steady, controlled, as he surveyed the scene. A stealthy smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. They wouldn't see him coming. The Galactic Empire had sent its finest, the elite assassin squad, known across the galaxy for their efficiency, precision, and ruthlessness. Their mission was simple: decapitate Earth's resistance by eliminating its leadership in a single, brutal strike. Earth, however, had one last move left to play, a lone operative who moved in silence and shadows. He was known only as the Ninja. As the first assassins touched down, their black suits shimmering with alien tech, the ninja's fingers flexed around the hilt of his blade. His mission was just as clear: protect the last remnants of Earth's command. Failure was not an option. Behind the visor of his mask, his eyes narrowed as he assessed his targets: 3 alien soldiers, each from a different world, each exuding confidence born from countless victories. Their overconfidence would be their downfall. Without a sound, the ninja dropped from his perch and vanished into the ruins below. His footsteps, light as air, made no noise as he maneuvered through the wreckage of a city that once thrived. His earpiece crackled to life. "They're heading for the command bunker," the voice on the other end whispered urgently. "If they get through, it's over." "I know," the ninja responded, his voice barely more than a breath. The assassins moved in formation, weapons drawn, their eyes scanning for threats. They were efficient, disciplined, but they were in unfamiliar territory. They didn't understand Earth's ruins, the labyrinth of broken buildings, shattered monuments, and forgotten streets. To them, it was an obstacle. To the ninja, it was home. He shadowed the group, waiting for the perfect moment. The lead assassin, a towering figure with crimson skin and 4 gleaming eyes, barked orders in an alien tongue. The squad shifted, tightening their formation. The ninja could sense their impatience, their eagerness to end this mission and return to the Empire with victory in hand. But victory would not come. In a blur, the ninja struck. He moved like a phantom, slicing through the night with lethal precision. The first assassin didn't even have time to scream. One moment, he was walking; the next, his body slumped to the ground, lifeless, as a thin line of blood traced across his throat. The others spun around, weapons raised, but it was already too late. The ninja darted between the remaining 2, his blade flashing under the faint glow of distant fires. His movements were fluid, almost graceful, as if performing an ancient dance. The second assassin, a reptilian creature with scales as black as coal, lashed out with a high-tech spear, but the ninja was faster. He twisted, evading the strike, and delivered a swift counterattack. The alien's body fell with a heavy thud. Only the leader remained. The crimson-skinned warrior stood his ground, eyes scanning the shadows for the unseen threat. His breathing quickened, and for the first time, the ninja saw hesitation flicker in those alien eyes. "You're wasting your time," the assassin growled in the Empire's universal tongue, trying to mask the fear creeping into his voice. "We are the Empire. You're just one man." The ninja stepped forward, finally allowing himself to be seen. His mask glinted under the dim light, and he tilted his head slightly, considering his foe. "1 man," he said softly, "is all it takes." With a roar, the assassin charged, swinging a blade of pure energy. The ninja moved to meet him, sidestepping the wild attack. In one swift motion, he disarmed the alien, twisting the blade from his grasp and delivering a final strike. The assassin crumpled to the ground, defeated. The ninja stood over the fallen body, his heart still steady, his focus unbroken. He deactivated his blade and looked to the horizon, where more ships were descending. This was only the beginning. "They'll send more," the voice in his earpiece warned. "I'll be ready," the ninja replied, vanishing into the ruins once more. The night was his domain, and he had only just begun. The low hum of the alien drones echoed through the ruins, their blue lights flickering like predatory eyes scanning for prey. The ninja crouched in the shadows of a half-collapsed building, his breath shallow and controlled. The air was thick with the scent of burning metal and dust, a grim reminder of Earth's precarious position. His muscles were tense, his mind sharp. The first squad had been eliminated, but the Empire wasn't done. Far from it. He watched as a second group of assassins disembarked from the next shuttle, this one larger and more heavily armored. At the front, a figure stood taller than the rest, Varric, the Empire's top strategist. His dark armor gleamed under the firelit sky, and his sharp, reptilian features twisted in a sneer. Varric had come to finish what the first squad couldn't. The ninja narrowed his eyes. He knew Varric by reputation, a master tactician who led with cold efficiency, never underestimating his enemies. Unlike the others, Varric would be prepared. "Your move," the ninja muttered under his breath, eyes locked on the squad as they fanned out, scanning the ruins. His earpiece crackled again. "The command center is sealed, but they won't hold long if Varric gets close," the voice warned. It was Captain Marlowe, the last surviving officer leading Earth's defenses. "We need more time. Can you stall them?" The ninja's response was barely audible. "I'll handle it." Silently, he moved through the wreckage, his body blending into the shadows as if the night itself cloaked him. His senses were heightened. Every shift in the wind, every rustle of debris underfoot, sent signals to his finely tuned instincts. The Empire's technology might have been advanced, but it lacked the subtlety of an Earth warrior trained in both ancient art and modern warfare. He scaled a broken pillar, positioning himself above the enemy squad, and assessed his options. Varric stood at the center of the group, issuing orders. Around him, drones whirred, scanning for any sign of life. They were thorough, but predictable. The ninja noticed a gap in their formation, an opportunity to strike. Without hesitation, he drew a small EMP device from his belt, calculating the drop angle with precision. In a smooth motion, he released it, watching as it fell in perfect silence. It landed in the center of the drones with a soft thud. The device emitted a low-frequency pulse, and the drones sputtered, their lights flickering before they powered down completely. The ninja smirked under his mask. One advantage gone. Varric's cold gaze flicked upward immediately, his sharp senses alerting him to something out of place. "Scatter!" he barked. His squad instantly fanned out, weapons raised, searching the darkened rubble. The ninja knew he had only seconds before they recalibrated their strategies. He dropped from the pillar, landing without a sound, and moved through the ruins like a wraith. The first two assassins were close, their alien eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. He struck swiftly, his blade slicing through the air with lethal precision. One fell instantly, crumpling to the ground in silence. The second whipped around, raising a pulse rifle, but the ninja was already gone, vanishing into the shadows before the assassin could fire. Varric heard the body hit the ground and his lips curled into a snarl. "You think you're clever, Earthling?" he called out, his voice echoing through the crumbling city. "You've killed my soldiers, but you won't stop me." The ninja remained silent, stalking Varric's squad from the darkened corners of the battlefield. The alien strategist's confidence grated on him, but he couldn't deny the truth in Varric's words. The longer this dragged on, the more ground Earth lost. His window to strike was closing fast. Varric moved methodically now, his movements cautious. He had adapted. The ninja could feel the shift in energy. This would not be like the last battle. Varric was too smart, and now he had the advantage of knowing the ninja's tactics. But that's exactly what the ninja was counting on. He needed to draw Varric in, make him overcommit. One final move to stall him long enough for Earth's defenses to regroup. He climbed silently to another vantage point, his gaze fixed on Varric's calculated approach. The time was near. His fingers tightened around the hilt of his blade. Varric turned, as if sensing something was amiss, but it was already too late. The ninja leaped from the shadows, blade flashing in the dim light, aiming for Varric's exposed flank. For a split second, the world slowed, the air thick with tension. But Varek had anticipated the strike. A pulse shield flared to life, deflecting the ninja's blade. The force of the impact knocked him back, and he rolled to his feet, staring up at Varek's cold, amused expression. "Well played," Varek said, his voice dripping with satisfaction. "But this time, I'm ready for you." The ninja straightened, eyes narrowing. The game had changed, and the stakes were higher than ever. The ninja's eyes flicked to Varek's pulse shield, still humming from deflecting his strike. He quickly recalculated his approach, mentally cataloging every tool at his disposal. Varek stood between him and Earth's survival, a wall of intelligence and impenetrable defenses. Yet the ninja knew that all walls had weaknesses. The alien strategist's cold smile lingered, as if sensing the wheels turning in the ninja's mind. "Did you really think you could best me with brute force?" Varek taunted, taking slow, deliberate steps forward. His voice was a calculated mockery, each word a scalpel cutting into the silent tension. "Brute force?" the ninja replied, his tone low and sharp. "I'm not here for a frontal assault." Before Varek could react, the ninja tossed a smoke bomb at his feet. A cloud of thick, dark smoke erupted around them, blanketing the battlefield. Instantly, the sharp sound of energy weapons charging filled the air as Varek's soldiers moved to engage, firing blindly into the mist. But the ninja was already gone, slipping into the depths of the crumbling city. His movements were swift, precise, as he navigated the ruined labyrinth. His senses heightened, every vibration in the ground, every shift in the air was a map leading him through the chaos. He had no intention of facing Varek directly again, not yet. He needed to disable the alien strategist's most potent weapon, his impenetrable shield. A pulse of energy whined in the distance, and the ninja darted into cover, pressing his back against a jagged wall of debris. His earpiece crackled to life again. "Marlowe here. What's your status?" Captain Marlowe's voice was tight with tension. He was holding the command center, but barely. "Engaged," the ninja replied, his voice calm despite the mounting danger. "Varek's here, but his shield is complicating things." "Varek? Damn," Marlowe muttered. "If he breaches the command center, Earth's done for." "I'm working on it." The ninja's eyes narrowed as he glanced upward, spotting one of the Empire's surveillance drones cutting through the smoke. He needed a way to disrupt Varek's technology, and fast. Just ahead, hidden under the wreckage of a fallen building, the remains of an old Earth power grid sparked faintly. His mind clicked into place, formulating a plan. If he could reroute the energy through an EMP trap, it might just overload Varek's defenses. With careful precision, the ninja made his way toward the wreckage, avoiding the patrols of Varek's soldiers, who now searched the ruins with an almost frantic energy. They were on edge, their perfect operation disrupted by a single human in the shadows. It was only a matter of time before they found him, but by then, it would be too late. The ninja crouched beside the power grid, pulling a small toolkit from his belt. His fingers moved swiftly as he rewired the circuits, redirecting what little power remained. The device began to hum, energy building within the cobbled-together trap. He worked methodically, eyes darting to the smoke where Varek's soldiers combed through the ruins. In the distance, he heard Varek's voice cutting through the confusion. "Find him! He's close! I want him dead, now!" The ninja's lips tightened into a thin line. "Not yet, Varek," he whispered to himself. He finished the final connection, stepping back as the EMP trap powered up. The pulse it would release would be small, but concentrated, enough to disable anything within a short radius. He only needed to lure Varek close enough. The sound of footsteps approached, and the ninja faded into the shadows once more, his heart steady. He watched as Varek's elite squad emerged from the smoke, scanning their surroundings. Varek was with them, his pulse shield still glowing faintly. "I know you're here," Varek growled, his voice colder now, laced with frustration. "But it won't save your people. This is your last stand." The ninja moved, fast and silent, positioning himself behind a broken column just meters away from his trap. His hand hovered over a small remote detonator. "Come closer," he thought, eyes fixed on his target. Varek's soldiers advanced cautiously, their weapons trained on every shadow. The strategist moved with them, confident in his shield's protection. The ninja's grip tightened around the detonator. 3 more steps. 2. When Varek was within range, the ninja pressed the button. The EMP blast rippled through the air, a soft hum followed by a bright flash. Varek's shield sputtered, its energy flickering violently before extinguishing entirely. Panic rippled through the squad as their equipment sparked and died, leaving them momentarily defenseless. The ninja wasted no time. He leaped from the shadows, blade in hand, aiming for Varek. But Varek was no fool. Even without his shield, he reacted with the reflexes of a seasoned warrior, dodging the strike and drawing a gleaming energy blade of his own. The 2 warriors clashed, the sound of metal against energy crackling in the silent ruin. "You've made a mistake, human," Varek hissed, his eyes burning with fury. "I don't need a shield to kill you." The ninja's jaw clenched. This was the moment of truth. The energy blade screeched as it clashed with the ninja's steel katana, sparks flying between the 2 warriors. Varek's eyes blazed with fury, his calm, calculating demeanor gone, replaced by sheer rage. His power had been stripped away, his shield disabled, and now he stood vulnerable before the human he had once dismissed as inferior. "You think a single ninja can stop me?" Varek sneered, his voice tight with anger. "You've only delayed the inevitable." The ninja's response was silence, his breath measured as he deflected Varek's next strike. Their blades collided in a rapid series of clashes, each hit faster and more precise than the last. Varek was powerful, but the ninja fought with an elegance born of discipline, each movement deliberate. He wasn't just fighting for survival, he was fighting for Earth. The ruined city echoed with the sound of their duel, a desolate stage for a final confrontation. Smoke still hung in the air, and the scent of scorched metal lingered, mixing with the scent of burned ozone from Varek's failed shield. Every muscle in the ninja's body was honed to the moment, the weight of humanity's survival resting on his shoulders. In a flash, Varek lunged, his energy blade aimed at the ninja's throat. But the ninja anticipated the move, sidestepping at the last moment and slashing downward with his katana. Varek's arm caught the blow, the alien's flesh sizzling as the blade cut deep, forcing him to stagger back, momentarily disoriented. "You fight like a cornered beast, Varek," the ninja said, his voice steady despite the growing fatigue. "But your empire's fear of us, your fear, is why you'll lose." Varek clutched his bleeding arm, sneering as he forced himself to stand tall. "You think your primitive tactics will win the day? The Empire doesn't fear you, human. You are nothing but an obstacle to be removed." Without another word, Varek pressed a button on his wrist, and the hum of energy weapons activated in the distance. Drones whirred into view, hovering above the battlefield, their weapons locking onto the ninja. A coordinated strike would tear him apart in moments. But the ninja remained still, his gaze unwavering. He had planned for this. From within his belt, the ninja retrieved a small device, a sleek, black sphere with glowing runes etched into its surface. He pressed it once, and the sphere began to pulse with a faint blue light. "You overestimate your technology," the ninja said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. "And you underestimate us." The drones fired simultaneously, their energy beams converging on the ninja's position. But in the blink of an eye, the blue sphere released a shockwave of electromagnetic energy, disrupting the drone's circuits. They sparked violently before falling from the sky, crashing to the ground in a heap of malfunctioning metal. For the first time, real fear flickered in Varek's eyes. The ninja moved swiftly, closing the distance between them. His katana gleamed as he struck with a lethal precision, aiming for the heart of the alien strategist. Varek blocked the blow, but his stance faltered. His arm shook with the effort of holding his energy blade steady. "You've already lost," the ninja whispered, his blade pressing closer. "Because you think victory comes from conquest. But true strength comes from purpose." With a final, brutal strike, the ninja disarmed Varek, sending his energy blade clattering across the debris. Varek staggered back, chest heaving, his eyes wide with disbelief. He had never anticipated this. A human standing over him, victorious. You! Varric choked out, his voice breaking. The ninja didn't give him the chance to finish. In one swift motion, he drove his katana into Varric's chest, the blade cutting through alien armor and flesh. Varric gasped, his body shuddering as the life drained from him, his once imposing figure crumpling to the ground in defeat. Silence descended over the battlefield. The ninja stood over Varric's lifeless body, his breath steady but heavy, his muscles burning from the fight. The Empire's greatest tactician, its most feared leader, lay dead at his feet. His earpiece crackled to life. Marlowe to strike team. Status report. The ninja closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of what had just transpired. He sheathed his katana and pressed the comm. Mission complete. Varric is neutralized. There was a long pause on the other end, then a sigh of relief. Copy that. Well done, soldier. Earth owes you everything. The ninja looked down at Varric's body once more, then turned toward the horizon, where the faint glow of Earth's defenses flickered in the distance. The war wasn't over, but a decisive victory had been won. He could feel it in his bones, the tide was turning. Without another word, he disappeared into the shadows once more, a silent protector of a fragile world.